everyone. Welcome to another episode of Truth Be Told. I'm your girl, Steph.
And this here girl Bills, baby.
Welcome. How are you, baby?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Feeling nice.
Feeling good, right?
Yeah, man.
I should feel real good, girl.
Girl, you see, we got Boss Eddie on the phone. So, as you guys can see, we have another guest, Susie Terville. She's back.
Yes,
If you guys remember, we had her here for the live
the live
session.
episode. Mm-hmm.
So we had to bring her back because, hey, we do Boss Lady things, right?
That's right. That's right. And she had some more things to say.
Definitely. Susie, how are you, my love?
I'm doing good. How are you, ladies?
We're good. Can't complain. Real happy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back again. It's a pleasure.
Oh, it's all
Really excited.
Yeah.
She looks excited. You see that color?
Listen, gorgeous.
Let's
go ahead.
That fit is it for me.
Gorgeous. Thank you.
Well, welcome back, love. So we're going to be chit-chatting a little bit. Susie is back. She's going to be telling us a little bit more about,
Like
what she's all about, her job, more in details, life insurance, because she carries all the hats.
Yes, she does.
I don't know how she do it. What hair she have, how much hair she have, but she carried like a whole bunch of them. But today we're gonna be focusing more on life insurance.
Correct.
So yeah, what do you have for us? She's gonna educate us, tell us why we need to have a life insurance.
Introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah. So, hi, guys. I am Susie Terville, back again. Very excited to be here. So, this evening, I would just like to dive deeper a little bit more into life insurance. That's one of my occupations, as mentioned in the last podcast we did. I have been with Nagico for the past 8 years. And for the past 2 years, I have been more into focus of insurance in the sense of educating people, sharing knowledge. And last year, I should say, whereas I did a more informational sessions, that is where I saw the need that people really want to understand and know about life insurance. I've been thinking about it, but I don't know where to start. I've been thinking about it, but I don't know what this all about, what to do, what to choose. So I was like, you know what? I think this is a very good idea, whereas we as an insurance company can reach out to the people in different platforms,
All right.
So it's not just about, okay, they're passing through the town, they see Nagico sign, like, let me stop by and see what's it all about. But also educating and making awareness of the type of product we do offer, how it can benefit themselves and their family. Most times people think of life insurance, oh, it's all about death. No, it's not. You have life insurance that can benefit you while you are living.
Really?
Prepare yourself for the future when you reach your pension age. Prepare education plans for your children so that they go off to college with something in their hand versus just only maybe a scholarship or none at all, that you as a parent have to go out and take a loan for this education journey. So in our slangs, what we'd say, instead of paying interest, you gain interest, because now you're gaining interest when you purchase an education plan for your child.
Got you.
Yeah?
Got
And
you.
besides education, of course, yes, death insurance, burial plans, we do offer. And I always tell persons, it's hard right now. At the current moment, you're looking maybe a minimum $6,500 for a burial plan, for a burial insurance.
Yeah.
Not a lie.
And how much of us have $6,000 just sitting in the bank waiting for that time to come? And as I have said before, I am in event planning. We plan for birthdays, we plan for baby showers, for weddings. I do all these creative planning for that special moment. What about our future? What about when we reach pension age? Can we only rely on what the government is going to give us?
No.
What about when we do close our eyes? Because at the end of the day, we're not going to live forever. One day we have to go. But what have we put in place? What have we planned so that my child, our kids, don't have to face the fact that I need to bury mommy, I need to bury daddy, grandma. How can we make this work? Do we ask the church? Do we do a barbecue?
No, the church no help.
Do we donate? You understand? Do we ask family members? And most times, oh no, I ain't giving because I already had this that type of relationship with this person.
Sad.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
To see a GoFundMe for a funeral is
Yeah.
very heartbreaking.
It is,
See, that have been happening.
A lot. A lot.
Maybe
Like recently, a lot.
who has that?
That's
People are in survival
mode,
mode. It's
exactly.
going to get worse right away.
That's true.
Indeed.
So I mean, savings is something that's a luxury now. It's not
Yes,
something that
you
everyone
could
can
do.
do. It's a legit
Exactly.
luxury. It's people who have it that could afford to do it.
Correct. And for me, like I do mention, of course, we do have all these bills we got to pay. GB, school fee, rent, loans, a lot of more loans to and bills we have.
Just shoot it like every time.
Every single thing. It's, you know, straight to the high. It goes into
Extracurricular
activities, exactly. So in this saying this, it's like, okay, yes, we do have a lot of bills to pay. And like you say, saving is a luxury. We can't all do it. So how about taking out one more bill, we're going to call it, but it safeguards your children's future. It safeguards that when I close my eyes, my child don't have to run up and down looking for monies to bury me or my spouse. You understand? It safeguards that I can rest in peace knowing I put provisions in place that I don't have to look a type of way, although you're not here, but you don't want nobody staying on your back. This person did so and so and so and so, and they've been there and they have all of this going on for themselves and they can't be buried properly.
It just goes to show, to me, I look at it a step further. I look at it as not only that you were not able to, I look at it as the people around you is not able to as well. And it's alarming, and it just goes to show how much persons were not thinking about finances, and persons were just in survival mode. And like I said, they were not able to do X, Y, and Z. And at the end of the day, even though death is the one thing that we know is guaranteed, no one is prepared for it really, unless you are prepared for it.
Correct.
And I feel like the reason why the insurance is a good idea is because it forces you to prepare for it. Because we force ourselves to pay our bills. No one is being like, GB.
You know, it's a mess.
Even if you're good, no one is like, hey, this is coming up my account and I'm giving it to you and I'm excited. No, it's a force. It's something that you have to do. Then you know, I have to give 150, maybe 100 to this month, but then this will guarantee such and such. So that's why I think insurance is a great thing that we don't really take advantage of, and I don't understand why.
I think it's because we are not aware, you know, and like you see, maybe sometimes when you see funerals happen, that is when you see a lot of persons like really, hey, this was hard because I heard so-and-so couldn't get buried at this day because they had to finish pay off the funeral home, you know? So these type of things and situations is when people just really think about life insurance, you know? And like I say, it's not only about death. It's not only the matter of death. Life insurance is beneficial. You know, we have so much of different plans at Magical that caters, like I mentioned, to education, to your pension savings, to protecting your mortgage. Of course, you know, when you go to the bank is going to always ask for life insurance because they need to safeguard themselves, you know? So it ties into so much more than just death, but understanding, because I always say life insurance is not a one-shoe-fit-all, you know?
I was just going to ask you that.
So
like,
everybody don't have to say, I need a $10,000 plan because this is what fits everybody's logistic of how their lifestyle is. You know, you could take out a burial plan. Something is in place. And if anything happens to me, then that is taken care of. But at the moment right now, I want to take care of me and I want to safeguard my future. Endowment plan that pays lump sum at the age 60, 65, or in 20 years. We do have a new saving plan that you decide how much you want to contribute to the monthly pays. And the good thing about it, you could dump as much money as you want into it. And, you know, you just continue building for that future.
And there's benefits on that.
Of course, just the interest rates. And
out.
it does have a debt benefit in case something does happen. It pays out your savings and the debt benefit. So and like I mentioned, besides only the contribution amount, you decide if you want it to be short-term or long-term because it goes up to 35 years. So if you start young, and that is where we really have to hit the nail on the head. Starting at a young age, because a person at 20 years old can come and purchase a $200,000 life coverage and pay perhaps maybe $100 a month.
Yeah.
Versus when you at 50 years old looking for that same coverage amount, now you're older, you know, and like they say, you don't patching the roof. As long as you keep on staying, the longer you stay patching up this roof, to finally fix it, it's going to cost you $1 million. By that time, you know? So it's always a good idea. And that is something I think we should also teach maybe the younger folks going into USM before they go off to school. It's part of financial planning for their future. You know?
It would be, I know this sounds crazy, but you would do amazing with a course in high schools as well.
Correct.
Because again, I realized that instilling certain teachers, like certain norms in high school, is key.
That's it.
So they will go into college being like, okay, yes, I'm coming out of college and I need to get a loan for a car and this and that, but in life insurance is also important because we don't care. We don't know. No, I'm being very honest. I didn't know. I learned about life insurance in Holland. That's when I really tapped into it.
Okay.
I wasn't into it before.
Before, exactly.
Not even a little bit. The most I knew about life insurance was from watching Saw, and that's not a good experience. So, no, but I'm being honest. You know about it from watching certain shows on TV, so you think about it a certain way. When in reality, this is something that covers your behind on a level that you
Correct.
couldn't even imagine.
Yes.
You know, and again, you talk about education. Do you guys also do house insurance and stuff like
We
that?
do, of course, with
Yeah,
Magic.
yes.
So we protect your homes.
People don't
Indeed.
understand how that. Imagine having house insurance. I don't even care about hurricane. You know what I mean? Like that allows you peace of mind, and that is what life insurance is. Life insurance is peace of mind. Simple as that.
Point blank, period.
You mentioned something earlier, pension. We know what a pension situation is here
Correct.
on this island. Our seniors are barely
Getting by.
it.
It's true.
Okay, I can tell you, I work in the finance industry, so I know. But what do you guys provide for the seniors, like based on what they're barely making?
That's
You
the
know,
thing. You know,
how can you guys make things easier
better for them. That's the thing. When it comes to a pension plan, when you start working, if your company does provide pension for you, because of course it's not mandatory, so not all companies would give this to you. You start working at 25 years old, for example, and your pension age is at 65, gone up to probably 67 about now. So at that point, you have 40 years to save. You have 40 years to put in place, accumulate your funds so that when you do reach that pension age, it is paid out to you either on a monthly base or your lump sum, depends on the what you have in place with your employer of how the pension is going to be paid out. You can't come at 60, 65 and want to put in place a pension.
a pension?
It's already, at that point, this is when I should be receiving monies for what I need.
mentioned.
So that when you do get your pension from SZV, it taps in with what you already have going on. And that is why it's important to start at a younger age, especially when it comes to safeguarding your future financially in a place that you want to be able to get a lump sum payout or get monthly payouts from whatever you have saved up. It's always better to start at the younger age. So when it comes to seniors, no, pension plan, we do not dive into pension plans for seniors. Of course, like I mentioned, our burial plan, for example, or whole life plans, we do have plans from the time the child born, you can purchase a policy for a child. Their education, whole life. Okay, and when it comes to like whole life plans as well, it goes up to the age of 60 where you can purchase this. Wow. And then for your burial plan, up to the age of 70, you could purchase a burial plan. For your parents, I can take out a burial plan for my parent, my aunt, my godparents,
So that the person, so that when it does happen, you have that extra coverage.
Correct.
And just imagine being a child, doing that for your parent, and then the inevitable happens, and then you're able to Hail Mary and save
Yes.
such a situation. And you can, and this is something that people don't take into account. Reason why I think the funeral plans are extremely important. Death is already going to spin you.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. But when it hits, during that moment, it spins you.
Yes, indeed.
So having to worry about, I can't pick this plate for this casket. I can't do this announcement. I can't do... Baby, just take that away and give yourself some peace of mind while you're capable, you're working, you're eligible, you're in your home with said parent, by the way.
Correct.
You both can bust a 50-50, put in 100.
Yes,
You know what I mean? And you can make it work. And this works out for you. So much times we say the difference between our culture and the outside cultures, because when somebody passes away, they leave back. Have a little something. Unfortunately, in our culture, our people's pass away, we broke. I know, but it's true because whoever is the strong one is the one that got to deal with everything.
And that is very sad. And that is very sad. And this is
unfair, by the way.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Just saying.
It is. And this is where life insurance provide a safety net for your children, you know, your spouse, because you could imagine I have an insurance for $100,000. God forbid, close my eyes, I pay off the funeral home, and I have $80,000 that I can say, okay, mom teach me financial planning. Mom teach me the best way I know or she knows that I should spend my money wisely.
Look at that.
You know?
Look at that.
And imagine you leave something for your child that now they can go and buy a home because now they have no notary fees right there.
Listen, I
They got
promise you,
deposit
Alex,
ideas.
I feel like that is helping the grief. That gonna be my final gift to my children. I know they will cry, but I feel like a little 80,000, 80,000 K. Yeah, I can help you. It's okay, boo. It's okay.
It helps.
Go on a little Italy trips. As a matter of fact, that is how that does be happening. You ever watch these shows and you see them take these trips and just go slide them over? Insurance money.
No, it's true. It's true. You know, it helps. It helps a lot. You know, and you think we just consider life insurance as the last love letter to your loved one.
Yes, it is.
Basically,
To put this. Imagine you're grieving and then you have like a ridiculous amount of money that you could just go make just do something with. Go to Italy. You know, you just go, Italy, no, the next week, it's okay.
yes. No, but indeed, it's something that you could, you know, really bank on. And sometimes a lot of persons, you know, they are single, you know, up in age. Maybe they don't have a family. And this is where we think of, okay, it's not only about maybe I don't have a child to leave anything for, but now it's about me. And in this sense, you say, okay, let's focus on something for me, which is our saving plans. You accumulate so that when you reach that pension age, you want to probably retire early.
That's one about it.
You want to retire early, you safeguard that future for yourself. And you just leave something there for burial purposes. But at least you know you're enjoying your life because you made that sacrifice, you made that smart decision to take out a plan that's going to safeguard your future.
And imagine being at that particular age that especially if I'm single and I'm working my whole life, by the time I get to the end and I have my insurance, I am living my
Very best life.
A full groove back. I'm living my whole best life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that's, to me, because a lot of people only worry about the beginning. When we're young, we're so focused on the rat race of what is life that we are just so focused on the present. But the fact of the matter is, your old age is what you should focus on because that's when you can't do nothing.
That's what you're supposed to be working towards.
Exactly. You can't fix it. You can't decide, hey, maybe I could go work 3-4 jobs. No, all of that is over. All that time for that has passed.
Right now, we do have. That's why I was asking the question about the seniors, because we do have seniors right now, unfortunately, with pension age
still working.
keep on going so high.
Yeah.
They're working 2-3 jobs
Because they
make it by.
Yeah,
They didn't make that wise decision
back then.
on the younger
Their
age
time,
to
exactly.
protect themselves.
For the
so
future.
that today they don't have to do.
Because let's face it, what we were paying groceries for back 20 years ago, it's not the same.
That's a bread now.
And imagine 20 years ahead.
Groceries for a house back then, it's a bread right now. So
Correct. So you could imagine 20 years from now, it's not going to be easy then.
and worse.
It's not going to be easy.
Wait for next week. You say it 20 years for maybe next week. You'll start feeling it.
So for our young people out there, I think this is something that we really need to
Look into.
pay
Parents.
a little
Yeah.
more attention to. Parents as well. Your kids that are about to go to college.
Indeed.
Yes, the government gave you that little extra finance, but keep in mind, Holland don't play. You got paid back.
You got to pay that back.
You got paid back. So when that scholarship drop, hey, yes, we got it. But just know 4 or 5 years after,
You have to pay it back.
they are
It's
very much
40%.
expectant.
It's 40%, but it still is very annoying coming from your salary. Take it from someone who lived it really bad and was very glad when she was out of it. So,
Yeah. So it's something I think that hearing Susie now telling us, educating us, pay a little more attention to it. Take a stop right there by Nachiko. It's right there by the side of the road. Like, we in town all the time trying to shop. Make a quick stop.
Quick
you
stop.
know?
There you go.
Ask a question. That's why she's there. So it's again, information is key.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look into it, you hear it, it will make sense.
Yeah.
You know, we hear life insurance. Oh, insurance is a thing. Like they just want to make money off of people.
Correct.
No. If you listen, if you dig a little deeper,
Yeah.
you would see where your benefits can
That's
come in.
it.
You
That's
know,
it.
so
And reading is very fundamental. Sometimes, we sit with agents, we sit with brokers, and perhaps, when you come 10 years later, oh, this is not what I was told. It's very important when you get your policy in your hand, you take a sit down, you read through that policy, read the terms and conditions. For me, I always like to put everything out on the table. This is what this product is about. Are you sure this is what you're leaning more towards? You want something personal? Do you have children? Do you want to make sure that if something happens to you, this is where the money is going? These are the type of questions we're going to ask.
Can I ask one little question? So, say for instance, if I go and started a policy for my children, and then I decided that I don't want to spend it on my children anymore, I want to use the money for something else. Can I
Payout
do
value, the payout.
Yeah, can I do that?
So if you take out an education plan, for example, and a lot of people ask if the child decide I don't want to go to college.
That is the exact.
Yeah.
No.
The funds that is paid out at the age 18, 19, 20, or 21 for the education plan, that is money that is yours. So you decide, okay, she don't want to go to college. He's not going to college. Maybe he wants to start a business. He wants to be an entrepreneur. Maybe he wants to invest in something. The money goes to you. We're not paying it out to no college or anything. It goes out to the parent, or if you decide you want to pay it out to the child, we do that.
okay, so there's no requirement that say when you're getting your payout, you have to bring
be proof that you're going to study.
that.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, that is money that you're saving for that child's education or their future, basically.
Nice.
So it's your money and you need it now, and they give it to you. I like that. I like that.
With the education plan, it is, of course, goes up to the age of 12 that you can purchase for your child. Okay, after 12, if you are looking into something for saving, we would perhaps recommend a 20-year endowment plan, for example, which is also a saving policy.
The 20-year endowment plan, what is that like?
It's basically you getting paid a lump sum. The difference is with the endowment plan, it also works as a life insurance until it's paid out.
Okay.
So if you take a $20,000 endowment plan, if God forbid anything happens to the child, it is paid out as well up until it is cashed out, in the sense of the lump sum is paid out when they turn after the 20 years, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, people.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
don't see the problem here.
You gain interest instead of paying interest. That's it. There's certainty.
We're giving you guys game. Like I say, we as a community from the Caribbean, we sit back and we watch different cultures, different peoples.
Yeah.
This happened, and then oh my God,
You know
this
the
happened,
thing
and
is-
life changed. We can do it too.
Correct.
It's life
That's it.
insurance
We
policies. It's different things put into place. That's
We
all.
have the same tools that the other cultures, like how you just said, they're using. We are
Yes.
just not educated.
Educating ourselves enough with it.
Yeah.
You know, we're just not aware. But we have the same tools available to us.
Exactly.
We rather just complain and wait for the last moment when things get hard
Yeah.
and then be like, oh, I should have, could have. But you had this, what would I say? We have
natural
the
to the
same
same
24
Hours
hours.
a day, yes. And everything is not a scam. And that's another.
That is it. The
Like,
top life insurance.
You getting one over on me? No.
Yeah, that
the
is
difference
sad.
between your children and Betty's children, or Betty's children. I'm with Betty's children, who's from Australia. The only difference between you and her is that Betty has life insurance, and your mama was like, no. That is the only difference.
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of people do get burned, we would say. You know why? Because you're not taking the time to understand the policy. I just always say, especially if persons have policies for years, 20 years, 15 years, it's always good to come back. Hey, let's have a seat. Let's talk it through. What did I buy?
But
What is who's my beneficiaries?
What would be a story of an example of getting burned? Because I feel like if we could switch policies.
No, in the sense of they got burned because maybe they stopped paying the policy, they didn't understand it. They didn't understand the policy in the sense of, they start losing on it. We have situations.
They didn't get burned. They light themselves on
Fire. No, we have situations where people do, maybe just neglect it. because they thought it was something different or thought, they could come back and stuff like that. But, certain policies, they really need to sit and understand, because maybe you come to me and we sat and talk about 5 different policies and we come to a conclusion that this is what I'm taking. But in your mind, 5 years later, we talk about 5 policies and I thought I picked this one, but in actually you got that one. Things like that does happen. So it's very important to really always evaluate your policies, go through it, come back to whoever you purchase it with and just sit down, have that conversation. How is it going? Well, how's my cash value looking? Because of course, some policies does build cash value that you can use that funds for yourself,
That's why go to our insurance company and check our policy.
Of course. How much cash did it build up over the years? What do I have going to me?
Even the language is different. If you want it, again, we fake it till we make it a lot in the Caribbean, in the world. If we really want to get into those elevated lifestyle, if we want to really be there, I think that's the verbiage. Let's go check our cash policy. Insurance.
That was going in
That's what the ones who got it are doing it.
Yeah.
They ain't saying, let me go check under the bed, under the mattress. We go and check our cash. You know what? That's what it is now.
Yes.
Again, like I said, it's an education thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's an education thing. It's a lack of information. So that's why we have people like Susie.
Yes. Try
That's
to
not
bring that
using her
information.
face all over the place. And her green, letting you know how important it is to have yourself a life insurance.
Yeah.
Have yourself take out the insurance for your children. Have a plan, because the tools are
Available.
Yeah.
They are available.
And we can do it because we're doing it with other things. Again, I've seen what we spend money on. This is why I don't really have empathy for a lot of shenanigans, because again, I've seen what we spend money on. Okay?
So we can afford to
Yes.
do it.
Thank you.
It's just about reevaluating what we spend our money on. And like I say, if it's one extra bill, that bill is beneficial to you. It's beneficial to your family, to your children, what is important in life right now. And for me, I love
Prioritize.
traveling. I love traveling. That is my thing. And, sometimes we have to sacrifice certain things that we love in order to get where we have to get. I mean, for me, I saying I don't want to sacrifice that travel. So that's why you see me wearing more than one hat, because I need to enjoy life while I'm still here. I don't want to wait until I'm 67, going down the canal in Italy. I don't want to do that. I want to do it now when I'm young. Exactly. Let me do it while I'm young so I could see those images and remember all of those things, so I could sit with the grandchildren and say, this is what I did.
Enjoy it.
But we have to focus on what is important, Yes, it's good to have fun. Yes, it's good to spoil ourselves. Yes, it's good to indulge in a self-care routine and stuff like that. However, it's also good to ensure that our future is well protected.
But that
On
is
top of
also
that.
taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
That's literally
That is
taking
part
care
of it.
yourself.
It is part of it.
That should be part of your self-care routine.
Yep.
Because if I'm putting $100 aside on a life insurance, that's part of my life. That is me making sure I am set. So why this is not part of your budget?
And imagine,
to make sure.
$100 can get you a whole life plan, Even with a burial plan, it's way less than that as well. Because sometimes, like I say, it's hard out here. Sometimes they might see us sitting down here saying, oh, you just don't know. We know. We know.
Just it's not to look at what we're going through.
We know. But so it
We
is.
listen to the correct, we're not sitting down here. Let's be honest. Not only do we know, because a lot of times, let's say it goes back to me saying same 24 hours in a day. It's not that we know, we take action as well.
Correct.
That's very important. It is not just enough to know. You got to actually do something about it.
Yeah.
Because she can sit, she can tell us,
Yep.
and now you don't listen.
nothing about
And then down the line, we good. Maybe I ain't tripping. And if you think I gonna cry because you ain't good, you wrong.
But we had the same, and we listened to the same information.
conversation, yes.
Now, what you choose to do with that information
It's on you.
is not my fault.
Merci
It's
beaucoup.
on you.
It is not on me.
It is not my fault if you're going through it. I will still be going on my vacation. I don't know what to tell you, but I will still be living, honey, because I don't believe in you doing the right thing to make sure you're good, and then the other person doing whatever they want, and then you still have to come back at the end and solve their issue. That is why I cross. That is why I say,
Fortunately, that happens all the
yeah,
time.
no, absolutely not.
That happens.
Absolutely. We need to stop doing that. I don't want to say to an extent, but like we need to, again, you don't borrow money to people that sleep more than you. That, you know what I mean? Like you just don't do things like that. If you choose to sleep when you can't pay your bill, it's not my problem. I'm still going to eat lobster because I worked
Hard for
to
it.
buy and eat
Lobster.
my lobster. Again, people think I don't have empathy. I do. I just don't have empathy for people who get to do what they want. And I do what I want. And then I have to suffer because you get to do what you want. That's insane. So please, if you did what you got to do in your life to do what you got to do, and 60 years from now, you listen to Susie, you had your life insurance, baby, whoever don't got it ain't your problem. That is not your fault. You did what you had to do.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes. Everybody's situation is different as well, you know. It might be a lot easier, but we put that extra effort in. We take that extra step. You know, sometimes a lot of people do work 2 and 3 jobs, and that 2 and 3 jobs can only maintain the rent and the children's school fee and the food for the children sometimes, not even for me.
True.
You know, it is hard out there. It is very hard, I must say. And I do empathize sometimes with people who go through what they go through, you know. And if you can take the step to make sure that at least my children don't have to run and ask, let's do that.
They can.
Or the same struggle that I am going through today.
You don't leave it for your children.
Try to at least take off half
Half of
that
it from the
so that
child.
they
Yeah.
don't have to go through.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the point of it for me.
it is.
It's just protecting you tomorrow.
That's it.
You know, it does thinking that you can't afford it because
That
I've
is
seen what you spend money.
On emails. Yeah, no, that is something people think it's too expensive.
You know that $100 on Shein every month, we could drop it to $50.
Not even $100 on Fina. You see that alcohol money you spend by the bar when you come from work? Again, I've seen what you spend money on.
Yeah.
On. Don't play with me, baby.
That one I hit hard now. Stop.
Why should I? Again, truth be told, if we are coming to fake it, what's the point?
That's true.
Let's give it the honesty. Let's give it the realism. Then that beer money, it adds up. The alcohol money,
Yeah.
it adds up. You all over the place and cannot pack up home. That gas money, it adds up. All of that could save. That could be at least be $50, $60. Put that in a plan. 60 years from now, you good.
And benefit
Don't
from it.
play with me.
That's true.
We have to see what is important.
Okay.
Prioritize.
Okay, $5 a week. Don't play with me, girl.
This is tips, people.
Uh-huh.
If you didn't catch on, she's talking about a lot of passion, but it is tips.
Because I've lived, you know, I'm not a joker. I've lived it. I don't give the advice that I myself have not lived because again, it accumulates. You think it does not accumulate. That coffee in the morning you could make at home, that $3 every week.
Every day.
Every day. Oh, hear me. Every day that accumulates to something that you could put towards something to better yourself. So if you don't have it, this is why I tell people 9 out of 10, it is your fault.
Discipline.
That's true.
It comes down to discipline.
Okay.
Discipline, prioritize.
Thank
What's
you.
important.
Because
And
again,
educate yourself.
the people who have nothing, the ones who come from dot, no electricity in the village and this and that and survive. What's your excuse?
True.
Every day after work. What's your excuse?
True.
But you can't pay for life insurance for the children to have a betterment, for you to have a betterment, for you to bury, for me to buy you a coffin?
True.
Bonjour, you going to burn up now?
Even that costs money, Mills. But it costs money.
But like I said, you like, listen, that burn up alone. And then I will put a bear right next to it free. And that's it. Says that's what was so important.
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
But the answer is like, for me, okay, what is some other ways that people can reach you out there to, I don't know, especially the
Some
young
information.
people, you know, to get more information? Because I'm sure after this, you are going to get some questions. You are going to get some people that
Are interested.
I want to believe. I really want to believe we pick some interest in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I really want to. So where or how can we reach you?
So, of course, you can reach me out at Nagico. When you come in there, look for Susie Turville and ask for Susie Turville.
She said
You can reach out to me via WhatsApp or call 585-8844.
Nice.
You can call me or WhatsApp me on that. You can also send me a WhatsApp on 523-0187 or send me an email, Suzy, S-U-Z-Y, .Terville, THERVIL, @nagico.com. So simple ways you can reach out to me, connect, and we can start and discuss what would be best for you and your family for your future.
I've seen you've been doing a lot of public speaking, little small gathering. You have any comment?
So yes, this is something I really, really want to engage in because as I mentioned, I did a few last year. I did a few informational session. I did some amongst groups, foundations. And that is where I saw the need for doing things like this. So for me, if you do have family and friends that wants to sit and talk about life insurance, maybe let's meet at your home. Let's meet at a club, your book club, your job. If you have your job that's interested in doing this, I give presentations to small groups, big groups. I do also want to put in place at least 2 sessions for the year, because as I gear into doing more smaller sessions amongst friends and family and workplaces. But I would like to really definitely have at least two set up for the year where I can go ahead and share. So persons can come and take a listen, get some more information on life insurance and the different products we have.
Well,
Definitely.
whenever you have this happening, our doors are always open.
Awesome.
Can always come in, share your information. We're here for it. We
Sounds
like information.
amazing.
We like to be protected.
That's
Yes.
So I like you said, I'm a travel girl. I love to travel. So anything that's gonna help me put $1 somewhere and make sure that I can enjoy the next trip,
That's it.
I'm down for it.
There we go.
So I'm always open. Our doors are always open.
I appreciate that.
Thank
Definitely.
you
that,
so much for
ladies.
doing what you do. Thank you for so much for helping the community with what you do, because
Sharing your
it's
knowledge.
truly important. We truly appreciate you. I mean, again, you're giving us a doorway to tap in. You're actually giving us the blueprint. Like we have options, and that's something that, again, we are not familiar with.
Yeah.
We have options. We can do it too. We can.
We don't
live.
take advantage enough of the
Yeah.
right things.
Correct.
We are taking advantage of all kind of things that we are not getting nothing back from. So these are options. We have options, people. Let's
And it's
use it.
very, very simple to come and get information, get application started. A few questions we ask you, yes or no, medical questions. And we do underwriting. With the burial plan, we don't have any underwriting. Like Nagico just hosted a burial Serenity Drive, and the Serenity Drive, basically you come, especially with a burial plan, you come in, 4 medical questions, and you approve on the spot. And this plan was designed, it was there, we revamped it after COVID.
Nice.
Why? Because this is going to give more persons access to get a life insurance. No underwriting, no medical required, just those 4 medical questions, which is if you have ever had cancer, HIV or AIDS, heart attack or stroke, or organ failure. Once you had none of those, because we have people who suffer with sugar, pressure, all kind of underlying conditions. But this one, if you didn't have those 4 mentioned, you're automatically approved.
Nice.
Wow.
And if you're looking at premiums at $60 and $50, why not?
Listen.
Something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Something is better than nothing, I always say.
Who drives after walk? Who drives?
Just give some service.
That's it. No, but that's it.
Then you have something to protect your family.
Laughing, but that's literally the truth. It's just skipping 2 days of the week.
You go out, you definitely will be spending at least minimum $50 a night. Minimum. If you go out,
Because
get a few drinks.
buying
let me get you around,
Girl, come on, my run, we run. How about we skip 2 rounds?
and put out here for the insurance.
So we go right now. Okay,
That's what I'm saying. Honestly, I really appreciate what you're doing, educating us.
Yes.
Because obviously we need it. Sharing your knowledge, because that takes a lot, to come and you studied, you paid all your money, and you did all you do to get your education, and you're willing to just share it with us for free.
Yes, for free, guys.
I take it. I don't know about y'all, but I going to take it.
There you go.
I just want to say a bunch of rich, we just gonna be rich and succeed. Like if we take this advice, you could imagine we would have been a generation to stop the nonsense.
Yep, that's it. No, it is true. It is true. You
We
put
live
them
in
on.
insurance. We live in now. You You
a
could
step ahead.
say, let's it. We could fix it. We could solve it. Let's solve let's solve it. Not we could. Let's just be the generation to
that
do
make that
this.
change.
Done.
That's it. That's it.
Our kids don't have to go through what we went through.
Exactly, done.
They don't have to.
We always watching certain cultures like, boy, they good. Yeah, now we good too. Done. Like, it's not they're the only ones that get to live. We get to
They
live
just had a
too.
policy. No, just follow the policy. We can have one too. You know.
That's it. No.
So thank you again, Susie, for doing what you're doing. It is very important. I really think that it has its place. You find your groove, and you're doing what you're doing. You do it so well.
Thank you so
So
much.
I really, really appreciate it.
I do appreciate you ladies having me here once more. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
And I don't know, life insurance has just become more of a passion as well for me, you know? That's really giving people knowledge and you benefit from it, you know? And we don't want to see people dying, but I could feel proud that I sat with this client,
Yeah.
gave them an insurance. It was approved. Their families coming to me because you know how much times people walk through Nachiko door. My dad passed away, my uncle passed away, my grandmother passed away. Did they have life insurance?
Wow.
And to tell them, let me check. No, we don't see your name in the database. It is sad. It is sad.
It is.
You know, and I don't want to turn back families. I want to come and tell you, hey, let's get the process started. And I always tell persons, Najiko is a local company. You get in your money, bring in your documents.
That's
5
it.
to 10 business days, your money's on your account. The funeral home is paid.
Look at that.
We don't have to go through all of that round,
Yeah.
you know? So it is something I'm passionate about. I've grown to love it even more. And for me, like, for example, my mom put me on. I had just start working. Aisha, come to Najiko when you have lunch at this day.
Nice.
And I almost paid up my 20-year pay whole life. Come on. I'm still not even 40 yet, and I could have a whole life paid out. Now I have time to use my money for something else. You understand? And why? Because she started me when I was young. I didn't have no bills to pay. That is why it's important to take it out young. You're living with your parents. You don't have them big bills.
Split.
Listen.
Come in. Just come in and take that. Come in and take that information, you know? So it's something I'm really passionate about. I feel good when I could tell somebody, yes, I can help you. Yes, this is the process. And condolences. But you don't have to worry about running up and down. One thing to worry about. You don't need to sit down and grieve and still worry about a bill. You know, you have time to grieve. That's another peace of mind you get in. You have time to sit back and grieve. If you don't want to go work for 2 months, give me a leave without no pay for 2 months. My bills will be paid.
You see how I had to see it on TV, right?
And my bills will be paid.
But that you see how you just have to, you see how you got to go back by the funeral ain't even happen, but you don't have to convince your boss to give you a
how much
couple of
is it?
days. Thank you.
3 days grieving for your parents.
I feel like we could continue forever, but we got to wrap. What a episode, baby. so I'm going to go on and say, please get your insurance policies. Hit up Susie, walk into Najiko, have the conversations, give yourself that choice, give yourself that freedom, give yourself that peace,
Peace of
give your
mind.
children the baton. Like, do something.
Yes.
Like, do something. Let we fix this for you.
It is
just
simple.
Thank you for coming through.
It is very
so
simple.
much.
It is very easy. Just make the stop, ask for Susie, and you got it done. All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, Val.
And yeah, guys, catch us on TV 15 Sunday at 2. Our social media platform, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at 6. It was a pleasure. See you guys next week.
You guys next week.
Bye.